You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Radio Show, only on Financial News and Talk. Now live in studio, your host, local and national real estate expert and consumer advocate, Ron Siegel.
And hello again. Welcome to Ron Siegel Radio. This is the show with no real boundaries as we discuss current events, financial markets, politics, sports, even poking fun of the rest of the media. This is the show that connects the dots of confusion delivered by conflicting media reports. We connect the dots so you know the actions you can take on your family. Your business can benefit from current events. Most of all, thank you for joining me. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio or anytime. At 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or ronsiegelradio.com. Just remember, that's the number you call anytime for assistance. When you call that number, it comes directly to me first. There are operators standing by.
Quiet, numbskulls, I'm broadcasting.
While I do have a great team when it comes to developing a financing plan or a plan to save you money, I personally work with you. Even if you don't have any needs today, save this number in your phone for future reference, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. And yes, of course, we are celebrating today. We celebrate every day on Ron Siegel Radio. This one, I think I can get behind this one, National Greasy Food Day. Let's see I got to see what our pictures actually look like if you're watching us on Ron Siegel Radio or any of our socials, ABC News and Talk AM. Popcorn is a greasy food. A pretzel is a greasy food. Okay, I think that we're gonna have to go back to whipped cream, Josh. I think we've got we need whipped cream or something because I don't know if those are what I'd call greasy foods. But you know, where's the chicken wings or French fry? Do we have French fries on there or onion rings? I don't see mac and cheese. Looks like we got mac and cheese, or is that cheese puffs? I'm not sure what's on there. But, anyway, it doesn't matter, right? National Greasy Food Day. Hey, if you're thinking about onion rings, they're not greasy, but go over to Hickory and Spice in the city of Orange. By far, without question, the best onion rings you're going to ever find, or at least they're the best ones I have ever found. Beyond amazing. Speaking of, let's take a look at the markets. Dow Jones Industrial Average is up 252 points. The S&P is up 48. NASDAQ is up 213 points. Oil is up 59 cents per barrel. Going to get some big news after the market today, but let's take a look. Did you see the commentary from the I think it's the king of Saudi Arabia or one of the princes came out and basically said, letting the president know that, and they don't have a good relationship, as you probably know. But they came out and said, releasing all of this oil from the strategic petroleum reserves may have some unintended consequences. Does that surprise anybody? But as we look right now, just for the short run, all the president really cares about is until November 8th. After that, if gas prices go through the roof, does he care? Obviously, he's proven he does not. $5.71 a gallon right now is the average for the state of California. Oh, Josh, you're getting close. $5.04 there in Nevada. $5.04 a gallon. Jody's at $4.35. Lori's at $3.27. And the oil-producing state of Hawaii is at $5.20. National average, $3.77 a gallon. So we're about $2 a gallon higher than the national average right here in the formerly Golden State. Getting pretty exciting right now if you enjoyed driving yourself nuts. Maybe what is it, fingernails on a chalkboard? Do they even have chalkboards anymore? Right? I think people understand it. I think they use whiteboards now, but the same concept is what we're seeing right now. Not exciting when you start watching at what's going on with all of these political commercials. You can't watch a show for more than 2 or 3 minutes without a political commercial. You got Governor Gruesome coming out. He's got an opinion on everything. Well, you really know if you're in the state of California, he's just a rent-a-governor, because as soon as this election's over, I'm sure number one, he's going to win, because I haven't seen an ad for the challenger. This is the state of California, so That is pretty much a given that he'll win. And on November 9th will probably be the last time we see him in the state. He'll be out campaigning for president from that day on. At least he won't do too much more damage to the state of California during that period of time. But I shouldn't say that. That's just my opinion. What else is going on in the world? After the market closes today, we're going to get some numbers from Apple. I think they're reporting their earnings after the market closes today. There's already some chatter of what's going. Apple's going to take a 30% fee from NFT trading on apps from its app store. You're watching right now, because their app store is so big and so powerful, they get a good premium. I just saw, I think it was YouTube. I think it's YouTube. If you buy YouTube, or if you buy their premium subscription service through the Apple store, you're going to pay more for it than if you go directly to YouTube and subscribe there. So they're saying, okay, Apple, you want your 30%? That's fine. We'll pay you the 30%, but it's going to cost 30% to the consumer more. Now, I don't have it. I just was doing some research on it the other day, so maybe I'm all wet. Maybe I can have Josh, maybe you understand that stuff better than me. You might have seen it. But the bottom line is watch these things. If you're trying to save some money, go to the App Store. It's nice and convenient, but something like YouTube, where Google, owner of YouTube, and Apple have never had a great relationship. In fact, when Steve Jobs was alive, they hated each other, right? So the bottom line here is, if you're going to subscribe, you may want to take a look and see if you can save yourself some money. Just throw that out there for you. Speaking of saving some money, I just shared this with an organization that we're a part of. And I wanted to throw this out at you. And just because I think I share a lot of information with you just because I think it's good information. So do you remember that we had, or do you know that we had a recession in 2020? Real estate prices went up a little over 6%. Do you know that we had a recession? I think it was in 2008. Yeah, you probably remember that one. It wasn't hard to remember that because a lot of people lost a lot of money. Real estate values, again, you can say what you want. Was it the recession that caused real estate values to drop, or was it real estate values dropping that caused the recession? And my opinion, it was the real estate values that caused it. But nevertheless, it was a recession, and real estate values dropped by about 19.7%. So my question is, when you look at those things, what are you doing to protect yourself? And I'm trying to find out the exact date of the recession right before that, because it is important so that you have that data. So here's the issue. So real estate values in 2000, that's not the ones that I wanted. That's mortgage rates. But I'm gonna get it for you. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna tell you right now that we have real estate values did drop during the last. Let me go back. During the recession of 2020, real estate values went up 6%. During the recession of 2008, again, regardless of whether it was chicken or egg, real estate values dropped 19.7%. The recession of 2001, real estate values went up 6.6%. So my question is, and this is what I posed to the organization earlier, do you have a strategy to protect yourself? Now, we may be in a recession right now. Our old definition, 2 consecutive quarters of negative GDP, we qualify. So do you have a strategy to protect your equity? If you're in Riverside, San Bernardino, parts of Orange County, LA County, we saw real estate values drop dramatically. I'm going to tell you when we come back in the Mortgage Minute what Case Schiller and the FHFA are saying about real estate values in California, in Los Angeles market. So do you have a strategy to protect yourself? We do. Have you talked to one of our teams and had a strategy call? One of our team members? 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, a strategy to protect your equity in the event that real estate values drop. But you got to act now. You can reach me anytime. Our off-air number, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990 or ronsiegelradio.com, facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio. And if you miss any part of our broadcast, Ron Siegel 1 on YouTube, Ron Siegel, the numeral 1 on YouTube. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few.
Ron Siegel Radio, your home and mortgage connection.
79% of all credit reports have errors that should be corrected through factual disputing. You could be saving thousands every year if your report was accurate. CreditSanitizer.com provides a free credit report audit when you furnish a specific $1 credit report. You can use this information to request corrections to your report and potentially save thousands of dollars. Get your free credit audit at CreditSanitizer.com. That's CreditSanitizer.com for a free credit report audit. CreditSanitizer.com.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio or anytime at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. The Mortgage Minute today being brought to you by our friends at Geneva Financial when you're ready for that next home loan. Geneva's got the programs and the products. You just need to make the call, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. The S&P 500 now up 50 points. Love that. 10-year Treasury down 15 basis points, 4.083. The mortgage-backed securities are up 75 basis points right now, 70 basis points. They're fluctuating as I speak. That means interest rates are down. The mortgage-backed securities do fluctuate all the time. And at this time every day, I give you the information from OBMMI. They provide the most comprehensive, accurate, timely, and interactive analysis of pricing ever conducted in the mortgage industry, calculated from actual locked rates with consumers across 35% of all mortgage transactions nationwide. The 30-year conforming loans yesterday locked at 7.159. That's painful. Ow! Jumbo 6.787. The 30-year FHA loan 6.943. USDA loan 6.911. That's for the rural areas. Most of the time, no down payment on those. And the best loan on the market for those that earned it. The 30-year VA loan locked at 6.78. But the question becomes, why did all these things happen? That's what you tune into Ron Siegel Radio for. Well, the October Purchasers Manufacturing Index declined from 49.5 to 47.3 and remained below 50 for the fourth straight month. It's important to note that the level of 50 is the middle point between expansion and contraction. New orders fell back below 50, largely due to a drop in foreign client demand, likely due to a stronger dollar, while employment fell below 50 for the first time since June 2020. Production did rise slightly above 50 as firms noted easing supply chain pressures and the delivery of some key inputs. In housing news, the National Case-Shiller Home Price Index, which is considered the gold standard for appreciation, showed home prices fell 1.07% in August, but increased by 13% year over year, which is a decline from the previous reading of a 15.6 in July. While the national index did show a month-over-month decline, most of the decline was seen in some of the larger cities like San Francisco down 4.3%, Seattle down 3.9%, San Diego down 2.8%, LA down 2.3%, and Denver down 2.3%. When moving to these cities that were overheated, most markets are relatively flat. And that's why I told you in the last segment, do you have a strategy to protect your equity? We do. Call us, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. Ask for Sean. She'll help you. So, because if you look at that list of where the properties are down the most, San Diego, yes, you're listening right now. Los Angeles, yes, you're listening right now. We're right there in the middle of it. The FHFA, Federal Housing Finance Agency, released their house price index, which measures home price appreciation on single-family homes with conforming loan amounts. Different than Case-Shiller, it does not include cash buyers or jumbo loans. The FHFA reported that prices fell 0.7% in August and are up 11.9% year over year, which is a decline from 13.9%. And again, the Pacific region, which is California, Oregon, and Washington, down 1.3, 7.4% is the positive year over year number. MBA released their forecast. They feel that origination volume will come in between 2.2 and 2.3 trillion this year. Here's the issue. All of the services that we're looking at are showing a slowing economy. Recessions will mean historically, can't predict the future, can't give you any guarantees, but historically, recessions tell us that interest rates will drop. Do you want to wait? If you're waiting for the interest rates to drop before you buy a house, well, then when they drop, there's going to be more demand. That means prices are going to go up. Here's the idea. Buy now. While you've got purchasing power, buyers have a little bit more power right now, even though the interest rates are a little bit higher than they're going to be in a year or 2 years, most likely. In fact, most of the services that I'm looking at or talking to, they're saying they expect interest rates to be down by 1.5% to 2% over the next year or so. Here's the issue. If that's the case and you get a loan right now, refinance it or get on our payment assistance program right now. That way you're already there. But here's the issue again. If you wait for prices to go down and you were one of those people that said, you know something, I made 15 offers and I didn't get anything, I'm on the sidelines, you're going to wait and get right back into that same frying pan. Does that make sense to you? It doesn't really sound like a lot of fun to me, but that's your choice. That is the Mortgage Minute, brought to you by our friends at Geneva Financial. When you're ready for that next home loan, Geneva's got the programs and the products. You just need to make the call, 800-306-1990. 800-306-1990. A workshop for you. How to use, oops, did I lose something over here? I don't know if there we are. Okay, I'm sorry about that. How to use equity to buy a second home. We've got a new system on Ron Siegel Radio where I'm able to see some of the reports. And have you ever heard the term operator error? That would be like, Josh says, all you got to do is click here. And I say, okay, I click there and I still screw it up. So I'm the operator. I goofed it up. And now I'm trying to figure out, okay, where's my report? And it's right there in front of me. Throw that out there. How to use equity to buy a second home. You may think now is a great time to buy a second home or investment property. Having enough money for a down payment on a new home is often one of the largest struggles homeowners face. Many people don't want to tap into their 401k or cash right now, but you may be wondering if it's possible to tap into the equity you have in your existing house. As you know, I'm Ron Siegel, Ron Siegel Radio, Geneva Financial, and I am going to explain to you right now how you can use the equity in your existing home to purchase another home. For some homeowners, you may be able to leverage the equity you have built up in your existing home to buy another property. There are a few options for using your equity in your house, and you always want to consult your accountant to find out any tax implications. We do not give tax advice on Ron Siegel Radio. Let's look at some options you may have to tap into the equity of your existing home. 1, refinance your existing property. The first option you may consider is to refinance your existing home with a cash-out refinance home loan. A cash-out refi allows you to tap into your equity in your home and take the cash out. This cash can be used to remodel your home, pay off bills, or put your kids through college. This money could also be used as a down payment on another property. There's often seasoning requirements on your down payment funds when you buy a new home, so you'll want to check with your mortgage lender, that's us, on the requirements. But refinancing your existing property may allow you to tap into your equity and use it for a down payment on another home. Interest rates on primary residences are usually lower than on investment homes. With a cash-out refinance, your total loan amount typically cannot exceed 80% of your home's value. Think about this also. I know interest rates are high. You say, Ron, why would I want to do that right now when interest rates are as high as they are? That's the time to do cash-out refinances. Theoretically, right? If you'd done it before, that would have been even better. but you can't look backwards. You can't go back to the rates that we had 6 months ago. You can actually work on today's rates. But here's the issue. As I shared in the opening segment today, rates will probably go down. Historically, they have always gone down in a recession. Buy now while there's some buyer's leverage. It'll make life a lot better for you. And then refinance down the road. Don't forget, when you go to buy that second home, you can look at what's called a DSCR loan. And our team has all the information on it. Talk to Sean on the team and she'll help you. But our team has all that information. It does not look at your income to qualify. It looks at the property and the rental rolls to see what the property will bring in. That's how you're qualifying for that property. Then again, you take a look down the road and you say, oh, okay, well, now it's working just the way we thought. We might want to go into a more conventional loan. That DSCR is priced a little bit higher than the traditional non-owner occupied property. But it's about you making money. Don't worry about all the costs. I mean, we don't ever want to overspend. But if you can make a spread, if you're making a profit, you're better off. Next option, take out a second mortgage. Another way to tap into the equity in your existing house is to take out a second mortgage. There are many second mortgage options available, including home equity line of credit or a HELOC loan. A HELOC works like a line of credit against your home. You do not have to draw all the funds out with a HELOC home loan, and it may provide you with the funds needed to buy a home as a rental or even consider buying a home and fixing it up to sell. There are seasoning requirements for a down payment, so you will want to plan ahead and work with your mortgage lender to find out specific requirements. Understanding the downside. When you use your existing home equity to finance a second home, you stand to lose your primary home if you fail to make the loan payments. Equity lines of credit usually have variable interest rates, which means your payments could skyrocket over the course of time. Home equity loans tend to have shorter terms than standard mortgages, which means you may have a larger monthly payment to manage. If your payments fall within your budget, then a cash out refinance or equity line may make sense. But if funds are tight, then the cons may outweigh the pros. Whatever you decide, be sure you're working with your accountant, your financial advisor, and of course us, your licensed mortgage professional. That's your area, your household board of directors. You may be sitting on an opportunity to expand your home ownership with the equity in your existing property. That is the workshop for you, how to use equity to buy a second home. If you have any friends, family, or coworkers looking to buy, sell, or borrow on real estate, or want some guidance in this process, can we ask you to give us a call and give us the introduction? When we come back, what happens to housing when there's a recession? How I fell on an online scam. We've got a report there. I'll talk to you about it. Divorce mortgage planning defined. All that and more. You can reach me anytime. Off-air number, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or RonSiegelRadio.com, Facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio. And if you miss any part of our broadcast, Ron Siegel 1 on YouTube, Ron Siegel, the number 1 on YouTube. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few.
Ron Siegel Radio. Your home and mortgage connection.
Is your budget getting blown up with high prices of gas and increased costs for other household needs? This is Ron Siegel, host of the daily Home and Finance radio program. Did you know if you have a low interest rate mortgage along with auto debt, credit card debt, or student loans, your family could potentially save $500 or more per month by restructuring these debts? If you'd like a free Borrow Smart analysis with our team, let's book an appointment to see how we might be able to relieve some stress. Schedule your appointment at rsrbsa.com. That's rsrbsa.com for your free Borrow Smart analysis. rsrbsa.com.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions, as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio or anytime at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. In the real-time real estate segment today, being brought to you by the area trusted real estate professionals of Ron Siegel Radio, visit rsrhomescout.com, rsrhomescout.com. What happens to housing when there's a recession? Since the 2008 housing bubble burst, the word recession strikes a stronger emotional chord than it ever did before. And while there's some debate around whether we're officially in a recession right now, the good news is experts say a recession today would likely be mild and the economy would rebound quickly, as the 2022 CEO outlook from KPMG says, quote, global CEOs see a mild and short recession, yet optimistic about global economy over the 3-year horizon. More than 8 out of 10 anticipate a recession over the next 12 months, with more than half expecting it to be mild and short, unquote. To add to that sentiment, housing is typically one of the first sectors to rebound during a slowdown. As Ali Wolf, chief economist at Zonda, explains, housing is traditionally one of the first sectors to slow as the economy shifts, but is also one of the first to rebound, unquote. Part of that rebound is tied to what has historically happened to mortgage rates during recessions. And if you're watching us on RonSiegelRadio.tv, any of our socials, or the ABC News and Talk AM 1490 video feed, you're seeing a chart of what has happened in the typical recessions. Let's see if I can find that, because I just lost my place here on my report. Part of the rebound. Historically, this data helps paint the picture of how a recession could impact the cost of financing a home. Looking at recessions in this country going all the way back to 1980. Darn, I feel old because 1980 doesn't seem like it's that long ago, and it's already, 42 years? Each time the economy slowed down, mortgage rates decreased. So 2020 down 1%, 2008 down 1.13, 2001 down 0.63, 1991 down 2.25, 1981 down 5%, 1980 down 4.25. Fortune explains mortgage rates typically fall during an economic slowdown. Quote, over the past 5 recessions, mortgage rates have fallen an average of 1.8 percentage points from the peak seen during the recession to the trough. And in many cases, they continue to fall after the fact, as it takes some time to turn things around, even when the recession is technically over, unquote. While history doesn't always repeat itself, we can learn from and find comfort in the trends of what's happened in the past. If you're thinking about buying or selling a home, you can make the best decision by working with a trusted real estate professional. That way you have expert advice on what a recession could mean for the housing market. Bottom line, history shows that you do not need to fear the word recession when it comes to the housing market. If you have questions about what's happening today, give me a call, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. I would be more than happy to chat with you about these issues. It's something that we do all the time on Ron Siegel Radio because of all the studying that I'm doing on a regular basis for the show. Get a lot of good data, get to talk to a lot of smart people around the country, and my job is to share that with you, to get you that information. Our team does a great job in the background, because they know all the guidelines and the ways to put together the programs and the processes and matching these things. When it comes to the macro side, I'm the one out there looking and talking to the folks and sharing it with the team. But I only get we meet every Monday, so I can share as much as possible. But if you want to give me a call at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, I am always happy to share. I do a lot of consultations, especially when it comes to some of the families that are looking at credit issues with their household. creditsanitizer.com, a free credit report audit to see, can you fix this yourself, or might you need to retain somebody to assist you in getting that done? So creditsanitizer.com is the solution right there for you, creditsanitizer.com. Better Outcome segment today being brought to you by mycdlp.com, mycdlp.com. That's our divorcing team. Divorce mortgage planning defined. Many times in divorce, we are more focused on curing the problem at hand, like distributing real property and assets, that we forget there is life after the divorce. The biggest challenge is the lack of knowledge, understanding, and preparedness of how the various pieces of the divorce puzzle fit together and overlap. The two most commonly asked questions are, what is the difference between divorce lending and divorce mortgage planning? What is the difference between divorce lending and divorce mortgage planning? What's the advantage of having a certified divorce lending professional on your divorce team over a traditional loan officer? The answer to both questions, a lot. What is the divorce mortgage planning? So I don't know if you have this picture, Josh, that a picture being worth 1,000 words. And of course, he's got it sitting there right on the screen if you're watching us on Ron Siegel Radio, any of our socials, or the ABC News and Talk AM 1490 video feed. You've got the picture there, an intersection of divorce, real estate, and mortgage planning. The diagram shows just how intersected the four pieces of the divorce puzzle, family law, financial and tax planning, real property, and mortgage planning are when the home itself is center stage. All of these pieces of the puzzle converge with each other. Divorce mortgage planning is the ability to put into play the desired outcome by pairing the needs and options available while incorporating the necessary details and clarity into an executable settlement agreement to obtain closure and peace of mind successfully. Working directly with the divorce team, a CDLP incorporates divorce mortgage planning into the overall process with a unique and solid understanding of the intersection of family law, financial and tax planning, real property, and mortgage planning. The diagram only considers a fraction of possible overlaps, yet amplifies the need for a knowledgeable and robust professional divorce team. Capital gains may be involved, especially in today's real estate market. Support income directly affects mortgage planning. There may be a need to look at protecting the mortgage interest deduction. Property disposition, it's not as simple as who gets the house and who moves out. Are we looking into an equity buyout or positioning both spouses to purchase a new property? What's the advantage of working with a certified divorce lending professional? The answer is knowledge. When the home is involved, a certified divorce lending professional has the background knowledge to support the divorce team and the divorcing homeowners. Any mortgage lender who can read underwriting guidelines can do a loan for a divorced homeowner, also known as divorce lending. However, the CDLP's knowledge goes beyond mortgage industry guidelines. The value that a CDLP brings to the table goes much further than divorce lending and how to interpret mortgage regulations and guidelines. A CDLP supports and works directly with the family law professionals, helping the divorced homeowners make more informed decisions regarding their home equity solutions. A CDLP is capable of working with the divorce team to apply financial and tax planning strategies to meet income requirements. A CDLP is competent in identifying contradictions between the marital settlement agreement and mortgage regulations while skilled at working towards solutions with the divorce team. Are you interested in more information? Schedule a meeting with a certified divorce lending professional, that'd be me, and you'll have a much better and clearer understanding of not only the difference between divorce lending and divorce mortgage planning, but you'll truly see the difference a CDLP can make. The Certified Divorce Lending Professional program is offered by the Divorce Lending Association, whose contributors have years of family law, financial and tax planning, and real property and mortgage planning experience. So who you work with really does matter. As a divorce planner, we can help divorcing homeowners make a more informed decision regarding their home equity solutions while helping the professional divorce team identify any potential conflicts between the divorce settlement, home equity solutions, and real property issues. Involving a certified divorce lending professional early in the divorce settlement process can help the divorcing homeowners set the stage for successful mortgage financing in the future. We are not providers of any kind of legal advice. You have to go to the lawyers for that. We are not providers of any kind of tax advice. You have to go to the tax people for that. They're the ones that do those things. We do not do those as a certified divorce lending professional. But what we can do is give you free the Divorce Your Mortgage Workbook. You can get that at mydymworkbook.com, mydymworkbook.com. Fill that out, send it back to us, and we'll put together a full report for you, a real property report. That's our whole focus. That gives you the real property report. And that way you can take a look at that and see it's a starting point for developing the plan within the agreement. That is the Better Outcome segment brought to you by mycdlp.com, mycdlp.com. You're listening to Ron Siegel Radio, discussing your real estate, current events, and the financial markets. When we come back, we're going to talk about an online scam, how one professional fell into that trap. We're going to give you some more things, free giveaways. I like giving things away. You can reach me anytime. Our off-air number, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or RonSiegelRadio.com, Facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio. And if you miss any part of our broadcast, Ron Siegel 1 on YouTube. Ron Siegel, the number 1 on YouTube. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few.
Ron Siegel Radio. Your home and mortgage connection.
Do you know a homeowner experiencing divorce? Do you know a real estate reference and the divorce decree could cost tens of thousands of dollars? A certified divorce mortgage planning and real estate report could save you thousands of dollars, and it's free from your local certified divorce lending professional. Reach out to Ron today. RonIsMyLender.com. Again, RonIsMyLender.com. Licensed under NMLS 217037, Equal Housing Lender.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio or anytime at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. 1990. The Your Credit Matters segment today being brought to you by creditsanitizer.com. You have a credit report and it is wrong. Why do I know that? Because I've never seen one that's completely correct. That's just the way it is. The issue is they say 79% of them have errors. I just saw something just as we were going on air that Congress is actually looking into what's going on at the bureaus. I'm gonna have to get the whole story when we go off air. We'll have it for you tomorrow. But you've got errors on your report. Creditsanitizer.com. There's a free audit. How do you go wrong when you get a free audit? Yeah, you do have to pay $1 to get the specific credit report that's needed, but then the audit is free. It's about a 10 to 15 page customized report just talking about you and your family. Or just you. It's actually not your family, because if your spouse or significant other, their report would be completely different than yours. So it's just about your credit profile. How a professional fell for an online scam and got the money back. Interesting. You know, we're constantly we write about and talk about personal finances and about these scams, and it's always been a mission to help others save money and teaching others to detect and avoid scams. So it's perfectly in line with our goals. However, in spite of this newfound interest, this author still fell victim to an e-commerce scam. Here's the mistake that she made, and don't ignore the red flags next time you're tempted to click buy. How the scammers got her. Scam started when she was shopping for a solar generator, a rechargeable battery with outlets on it that you can connect to a solar panel for off-the-grid power. She was doing a lot of comparison shopping and getting ready to make a purchase during a major retailer's site-wide sale. Instead, she got pulled in by a targeted social media ad featuring a well-known solar generator brand and discounted prices, quote, due to the company closing its retail stores, unquote. After clicking on the ad, she was sent to a website with the brand's information and logo, multiple products with in-depth descriptions, and a countdown next to each type of generator. There were only a few left, and she watched as the available quantity slowly dropped, creating urgency, just as the scammers wanted. She felt the urge to act quickly. It seemed plausible, she told herself. The company sells its products online through physical retailers, and the price was low, but only slightly lower than the sale prices she was seeing on the other site. She wishfully thought that maybe they were saving money on fees or commissions and passing the savings on. What was actually happening? Fake e-commerce websites are a popular type of online shopping scam. Scammers can quickly set up a website or many sites using stolen graphics and text from legitimate retailer sites. They then drive traffic to their fake site by posting on social media, online marketplaces, or using social media ads. If you make a quote-unquote purchase on one of these fake sites, the scammers might steal your money outright or steal your payment information and use or sell it later. Or in some cases, they may send you products that were stolen or bought through fraudulent means, such as using someone else's stolen credit card information. In the days after she fell for the scam, she was repeatedly targeted by ads on Facebook for the same product. Some sent her to the same scam website, but others sent her to identical websites with different addresses. A few weeks later, she found that all these scam websites were taken down. The red flags that she ignored. She knew enough to be suspicious from the start, but ignored a few red flags because she wanted to get a good deal. Here's what you should keep a closer eye on. The mismatched URL. The website's URL didn't include the brand's name. The company's logo, images, and even an advertisement with a well-known celebrity were copied from the official website, but the mismatched URL, big red flag. The flimsy about page, the product description and main pages on the website had well-written and likely copied text. But the other pages, such as the about and contact pages, lacked many details. It wasn't the case here, but we've seen some scam websites that copy the about page from a competitor's website. For example, they claim to be brand X, but have an about page featuring brand Y. The details from the payment confirmation. Once she submitted her payment, she got an email confirmation from PayPal with the seller's information. She noticed it was a personal Gmail address rather than a business account. Should have been the first note right there. Should have recognized the entire setup was a scam from the start, especially because it started with a social media ad. But seeing the recipient's personal information on the receipt was what finally clicked. How did she get her money back? Although she was suspicious, she partially went through with the purchase because she was able to pay using credit card via PayPal. She knew that if this wound up being a scam, she could dispute the purchase and likely get her money back. A few minutes after checking out, she was convinced the seller was scamming her, and she submitted a dispute to PayPal along with a description of what she thought happened and screenshots to back up the case. While the investigation took several weeks, she eventually got a refund. Oddly enough, the seller still sent a tracking code that showed the item was delivered the next week, but nothing was delivered. Lessons learned after reflecting on what happened. There are a few steps that you can take to avoid similar scams in the future, and we suggest you consider them as well. Take a breath before buying. It was early in the morning when she fell for the scam, and she spent the previous few days trying to find the best deal on the solar generator that she wanted. This all added up to the sense of urgency. If she had taken a quick break and taken a few minutes to make coffee before coming back to the computer, might have rethought the decision. Listen to your gut. Even though the price wasn't outlandishly low, it was surprisingly discount. It felt slightly too good to be true, and she should have trusted that feeling. Consider the payment method. If she used a different payment method, such as the gift card, wire transfer, Zelle, or cryptocurrency, there likely would not have been any way to get the money back. And if she had submitted a credit card information directly to the website, she could have become the victim of credit card fraud. Be careful. That's the whole issue. Be careful. When we go through and do the credit audits for you at creditsanitizer.com, sometimes we can be an early indicator that just getting those credit reports or the credit monitoring can be a big, big time saver for you in this whole process. That's the Your Credit Matters segment brought to you by creditsanitizer.com. You have a credit report. It is wrong. What are you doing about it? And as always, I ask, set that first radio preset button to come back here and join Ron Siegel Radio, where we only speak about items affecting your house and your bank account. Thanks to all of our sponsors. A big thanks to Josh who's engineering us today. And of course, a special thanks to you for spending a little bit of your day with us. That's all for Ron Siegel Radio. Again, if you have any questions or to meet any of our guests, call me anytime, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or ronsiegelradio.com. And remember, make a lot of money so you can help a lot of people and have a lot of fun. Have a great day. We'll talk to you next time on Ron Siegel Radio.